Howdy. Today we're taking a look at Planet X Pluto Metallic Edition. And, the more that I look at him, the more he kind of looks like Megatron from Transformers Fall of Cybertron after he got absolutely obliterated. But maybe that's just a coincidence. Pluto comes with a sword, which is pretty sharp, and a cannon. And both of these weapons are finished in the same metallic paint covering the majority of the figure. Pluto also comes with sprues which contain screw hole fillers to cover some of the screw holes in the figure. Here on this arm, you are able to see screw holes here, 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 and here. There are also 2 more screw holes on each leg. I definitely recommend these since they make the figure look much better. Another piece of aesthetic accessories this figure comes with are these 6 back spikes. Let me make one thing clear. They may not be the sharpest, but that doesn't mean they're not hard to insert. The pegs and the peg holes are very tight, and that causes them to sometimes fall out when you're transforming or handling the figure. If you want to, go ahead and glue these in since they don't play a part in the transformation. Nonetheless, they look great, but they're hard to put on the figure. In his robot mode, Pluto, the metallic version, looks beautiful. It's hard to believe that this wasn't their first release of this figure. Actually, on that note, this figure comes with different joints from the regular version of the figure. The regular version featured ratchet joints, some of which were prone to breaking. As such, they replaced them with hinge joints, which I much prefer since it doesn't artificially limit the figure's articulation. The hinge joints are solid and the figure is beautiful. The paint is amazing, and although they're chipping in high traffic areas such as the port where the cannon plugs into the arm, as long as you don't manhandle this thing, it should be just fine. Here's how Planet X Pluto scales with Deluxe Class Deep Cover, Voyager Class Sweep, and Leader Class Grimlock. Here's how Planet X Pluto scales with Deluxe Class Fall of Cybertron Shockwave, Voyager Class Sound Blaster, and Combiner Ruination. Here's how Pluto scales with Fantasis, Kalis, Summonus, and Vehovis. In his vehicle mode, Pluto turns into a rather stylized hover tank. There's also a way to store the sword in the vehicle mode by plugging it into the front, but this thing is already sharp enough, so I won't bother. In his tank mode, Pluto looks just as beautiful as he does in his robot mode. All of those beautifully shiny surfaces covering the figure look just as great and they reflect just as much light. Although I will admit, this vehicle mode looks oddly like Megatron's from Transformers Fall of Cybertron, but I think the colors are backwards, so clearly that can't be. It's probably just a coincidence. Here's how Planet X Pluto scales with Deluxe Class Deep Cover, Voyager Class Artfire, and Leader Class Laser Optimus Prime. Here's how Planet X Pluto scales with Fall of Cybertron Deluxe Class Sideswipe and Voyager Class Blaster. Here's how Pluto scales with Phoebiter, Asclepius, Mars, and Quirinus. I hope you've enjoyed this brief look at Planet X Pluto Metallic Edition. If there are any other figures you'd like me to take a look at next, leave a comment down below. And as always, I'm Leo, reminding you that plastic toys don't belong in plastic prisons. See you next time.